Hi, my name is Abrah Arneson and I'm a clinical herbal therapist in Ottawa, Ontario, and I do quite a bit of work with people struggling with chronic infection, and I work in a very holistic manner when I support those who are struggling with infection, including Lyme's, Bartonella, Babesia, strep, staph, pneumonia. Um, And this is my fourth video in this series on chronic infection and using herbal medicine. In our last video, we opened up the idea of the first phase of the protocol is to support the detoxification pathways. And in video number 3, I talked about the liver. In this video, I'm going to speak about the lymphatic system. Just a little bit of a relationship between the liver and the lymphatic system is the lymphatic system dumps toxins into the liver for filtering. And so if your liver is congested and you're working with the lymphatic system, you want to support the liver and make sure it's working well, and then go into the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system, just really briefly, 2 main actions that you want to know it's doing is, first, it's a delivery system of antigens, and those are bits and pieces of bacteria and viruses and parasites that white blood cells pick up, and then they take them through the lymphatic system to lymph nodes, where they interact with white blood cells that are part of our acquired immune system. So when you have swollen lymph nodes, like under here, this is quite a common place to have swollen lymph nodes. That means your body is working with an infection. The other thing that the lymphatic system does is, some people call it the mop. I don't know if it's the best analogy, but I'm going to use it in this situation. So our cells float in what's called extracellular fluid, and when there is an infection and interactions between bacteria, viruses, parasites, and the immune system, there's lots of bits and pieces of dead bits get thrown into the extracellular fluid, and it can build up and enhance inflammation as well as cause pain. So the lymphatic system's job is to clean out the extracellular fluid, the fluid that our cells is floating around in, and take that fluid to the liver to be filtered and moved out of the body, whether through the liver or the kidney. So those are the 2 main actions that I want to look at. And the other thing that I want to just mention briefly is why, how you know your lymphatic system is sluggish. One is you'll experience swollen lymph nodes, and they're down in the very base of the skull here, all through here, down here. Sometimes there's tenderness all in between the ribs, all down the sternum. You'll feel them sometimes in the groin. These are all signs of lymphatic congestion. Sinus infections. I think that when the lymph system is really congested, fluid gets, the sinuses aren't cleaned out properly by the lymph system, or the fluid gets dumped into the sinuses, creating pressure here and pain. Tooth infections. I see so many tooth infections with chronic infection. And also swelling in the wrists, ankles, achiness like arthritis type pain, and general stiffness, particularly in the morning, Guys, the lymphatic system needs movement to get going. So when we sleep for a long time and we wake up and we're all achy, that can be partially due to congested lymph. Okay, so just a couple of my favorite plants. Cleavers by far is my favorite lymphatic. Botanical name is Galium aparine. I always use a fresh plant tincture. Therefore, I look for people who have cleavers growing in their gardens. It's a common garden weed, and make fresh plant medicine with it to use throughout the year. It's a very gentle lymphatic. However, I have seen it trigger Herxheimer's responses, or what others might call healing crisis, in those who have a lot of pain and a lot of lymphatic congestion. Their body just cannot handle the sudden flow or movement of fluid, and they get really sick. So if someone's fragile, start at a very low dose and work your way up. And a low dose might be 2 drops twice a day. Galium or cleavers also is a great support for the kidney, and the kidney is involved in the detoxification pathways as well. And it's a traditional weight loss plant. And a lot of people, when they struggle with chronic infection, gain weight. The other lymphatic that I often use with chronic infection is Calendula officinalis, and it supports the movement of the lymph, but it also has actions on the liver in that it helps increase the flow of bile through the liver and hence the release of toxins from the liver. So you kind of get both systems moving in conjunction with calendula. This is mostly when I use it as a tincture, and again, I grow calendula flowers in my garden, so I make lots of fresh plant calendula tincture every year, so I have it through the year. And one other thing that's really important, it's a great plant to heal the mucosa lining, particularly in the stomach and the lungs and the small and large intestine. So I use it there as well, more for a tea. Calendula is also very high in flavonoids, which means it protects blood vessels, which is one of the most important things we do when we're working with Lyme disease. And I will talk about that in my next video, as well as it protects cell membranes. So you'll see calendula a lot in cancer protocols as well. And my last one that I want to mention is red clover. It's the most gentle in my experience. I use it in tea. It's pretty hard to find good quality red clover. So again, this is one you want to find, pick, and dry on your own to put into teas. And I have found red clover exceptional at, over time, healing chronically swollen lymph nodes or builds up of cyst-like fluids, particularly in the chest and upper back. Okay, so that's for video number 4, the lymphatic system. I welcome any questions or comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks. Bye.